Well, did you know the Commonwealth's biggest agricultural fair is in Bloomsburg?
But in all of Pennsylvania, Bloomsburg is the only game in town in another way, too. Seth Kaplan takes us there.
Pennsylvania has 57 cities, 956 boroughs, 1,546 townships, but just one town.
There's only one town. We got it.
Bloomsburg.
Population around 12,711 as of the last census in 2020.
Approximately.
Approximately.
That's the police chief, Scott Price, and the mayor, Justin Hummel.
We are the only town. I'm not sure how many people visit because of that.
Well, we did. The difference is, admittedly, kind of a technicality. Hellbach's sort of an unofficial town historian.
In a borough, the mayor is the chair of the meeting, but does not vote. Here, the mayor chairs the meeting and votes. Woo!
Not reason alone enough to visit. So as for why else we came, well, might as well start with where we met Orrin.
We have a home here in the gallery, the Exchange Gallery on Main Street in Bloomsburg.
It had this psychedelic-themed exhibit when we visited.
It's called Far Out.
With very snobbish selection criteria.
The only rule is it has to fit through the front door.
Orrin's actually from New York. Wandered here decades ago and never left. Loved a place where you could have big-time art in a small, yes, town.
I'll go to the post office and run into somebody I know who I was supposed to have called on the phone. We can transact business on the sidewalk and then go our separate ways, having accomplished something.
And speaking of the post office, it too is worth a look. How to find it? GPS is no fun. Ask Orrin.
Go down to the square.
Okay.
Fountain's over here. Make a left, and the post office is first building on the right.
Right there.
It is a beautiful building.
Built in 1935.
And on the inside, there is artwork. They carved, it's a low-relief mural, effectively, done by the Works Progress Administration when we hired artists to make work for our public spaces.
Only a little newer is the Bloomsburg Theater Ensemble. John White-Spunner is the managing director of the town's professional theater company. 347 seats in here.
I imagine even cities considerably larger wouldn't have that necessarily.
It's true. I could probably name a few, but I'm not going to.
Aaron White is the newest resident actor.
I grew up here and spent my 20s trying to escape Pennsylvania and have returned to raise my family.
Kind of the opposite for Rich Kolchitsky, who we met walking around with his son, Carson.
Actually, I met his mom here when I was here on a short work trip, actually, and never went home.
Because of her, sure, but not only that.
Did a lot of local business in here, small businesses. It's fun to support and see them grow.
Plenty of fun for kids like Carson, too, over at the Bloomsburg Children's Museum.
Kids really, they know how to use technology really well nowadays, but they don't really know how it works and from where it came from.
Ginny Weibel is the museum's director.
So kids can sit down here, they can plug it in just like a switchboard operator would.
Kids can also learn about protecting native species like these eastern box turtles from a nemesis like Molly, the red-eared slider.
She is an invasive species.
Bloomsburg has a town park. Write down the name so you don't forget. It's called Town Park. But whatever its name lacks in creativity, the park makes up for with beauty.
It runs basically our whole river. We have a lot of river frontage.
That's John Fritz, the town's public works director, in charge of, among other things, keeping the town clean.
You know, with a college town, we have a lot of partiers.
College kids party?
Yeah, this town, yeah. That's a gimme.
They attend, where else? Bloomsburg University.
We have an absolutely beautiful campus. When we're trying to recruit students, if we can get them here, that's half the battle.
Back in the 1800s, Pennsylvania had other towns, but all the others became other kinds of municipalities.
Why we decided to stick it out as a town, I've not really been able to find any particular reason for
better and worse.
There's times where they're like, well, the borough code says this, you know, but we don't have the borough code. We have our town code. So I think the lawyers would prefer it if we did something else.
Any plans to do that?
No, of course not.
One special thing about this town, but far from the only one.
We like to walk around town because everything's so close together.
We've got the Exchange, we've got Bloomsburg Theater Ensemble. It's a lively place. It's also large enough to have all of these things, but small enough that it feels homey.
Even for those of us whose homes are somewhere else. In Bloomsburg, I'm Seth Kaplan.